Today, I am creating the strongest Dragon Ball character that ever existed. Forget about legendary Super Saiyans, Super Saiyan gods, heck, forget about angels, grand priests, gods of destruction, and damn, forget even about Zeno. The character I'm creating today solos everyone, and I mean everyone. We'll go through each trait a character can have in the Dragon Ball universe and carefully select only what fits our character the best. And by the end of the video, well, you can guess the rest. Our character will be a one-universe army of his own. Okay, once again, let's explain the rules of this video. Number 1, we can only use each character once. So if we decide to use Goku's intelligence on our character, then we won't be able to use Goku again for another trait like his strength or speed. And number 2, when it comes to fusions, we treat them as separate characters, meaning even if we use Goku, we can still use Gogeta if we want. So let's begin from the very basics. What race will our character be? Let's start from the one race I know all of you are probably thinking, the Saiyans. You see, Saiyans are natural-born warriors with an exceptional aptitude for battle, even at a young age. They possess strength and agility far beyond that of ordinary humans. Saiyans also excel at learning from their battles. They can quickly adapt to opponents' techniques and fighting styles, making them formidable fighters. They have a unique trait where their power level increases significantly after recovering from near-fatal injuries. This ability, known as the Zenkai Boost, enables them to grow stronger each time they are pushed to the brink of death. Various Saiyan transformations, enhanced senses, longevity, and durability cause this race to literally be a warrior's race. So, which other races are we considering? This would have to be the Angels. They are beings of immense power, possessing abilities that far surpass anything the Z-Fighters, Saiyans, or even gods can muster. What makes Angels so powerful is their mastery of Ultra Instinct, a state of being where their bodies react automatically to any threat, without the need for conscious thought. This ability makes them nearly impossible to hit in combat and allows them to attack with absolute precision. And let's not forget that they can travel between universes in the blink of an eye. Alright, so between the two, hear me out. I'll actually be going for the Saiyan race. Angels may be the strongest beings in the multiverse, but Saiyans have been able to master techniques like Ultra Instinct and Ultra Ego despite not being born with the same disposition as Angels. So I prefer getting the race that can just keep getting stronger and stronger rather than the naturally talented one. Alright, so here someone could ask, why not use Zeno's race? And that's because I'm actually reserving Zeno for another point. As a result, our character's race will be that of the Saiyans. Now, this was just the beginning, and we still have another 16 traits left to analyze. Well, let's just say that by the end of the video, we reserve the most broken things for last, as we will be giving our character 3 different special abilities that will solidify him as the strongest being in the entire Dragon Ball franchise. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and now let's keep going. Next up, let's see our character's growth potential. Alright, here we've got 3 candidates. The first one is Frieza. I mean, the guy just keeps getting back stronger and stronger. Base Frieza, Mecha Frieza, Golden Frieza, and then even Black Frieza. The guy just keeps on going and going. His growth potential does seem to be bottomless, right? Well, then we have Gohan. I mean, the guy did not even train for most of his life, and yet when he did, he became an absolute beast. The guy was a literal kid and fought Perfect Cell on his own. Plus, should we talk about Beast Gohan? Whole different level, right? Yet the one I will actually be choosing is none other than Broly. I mean, within an hour, Broly was able to go from weaker than base Vegeta to stronger than both Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. No other character has ever shown this level of growth potential in the series. When needed, the guy can just surpass his limits and become insanely stronger, to the point that his strength will be enough to defeat his opponents. And well, let's just say that our character having such an ability is definitely a must. But having covered his growth potential now, how strong will he actually be? Let's give our character the superhuman strength of someone. The first character is of course Jiren. Jiren's raw strength is so immense that it defies logic. Unlike many other characters who rely heavily on transformations or external boosts, Jiren's sheer muscle power is natural, honed through relentless training. He was able to casually overpower Goku in his Super Saiyan Blue form without breaking a sweat. Even when Goku used Kaioken stacked on top of Super Saiyan Blue, Jiren barely moved and countered with minimal effort. One of Jiren's most iconic demonstrations of strength is his ability to shatter Hit's time cage. Hit's ability to manipulate time is nearly unbeatable, yet Jiren broke through it with sheer physical might. This feat alone highlights that his strength operates on a plane where even metaphysical restraints can't hold him. Alright, so who else should we consider here? Well, Broly, of course. I mean, when it comes to pure physical strength, Broly is arguably one of the most terrifying beings in the Dragon Ball universe. His strength doesn't just break limits, it redefines them. Broly's physical attacks are so devastating that he single-handedly forces Goku and Vegeta to fuse into Gogeta to stand a chance. Before this, no other villain had pushed both Saiyan warriors to such match extremes using pure strength alone. But since we've already used Broly, we're gonna have to go for Jiren here. Plus, it's not even like Broly is undeniably stronger than Jiren when it comes to raw strength. Jiren was able to break out of suspended time and break through its time dimension through sheer strength. Yeah, that's definitely something. But even with Jiren's strength, that would mean little without our character having some proper speed. Let's see which character we're gonna use here. For this, I've got 3. First of all, Whis. Whis' speed is so immense that he can casually evade attacks from Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Vegeta without even looking. During training sessions, he dodges them simultaneously, all while providing commentary and never breaking a sweat. The second character I've got in mind is Dispo. Dispo's base speed alone is incredible, allowing him to outspeed powerful fighters like Hit and Goku in their standard forms. His reflexes allow him to react and counter most attacks before his opponents even register his movements. Dispo's ultimate trump card is his super maximum light speed mode. His speed increases exponentially, allowing him to overwhelm even god-level fighters temporarily. The downside, though, is that maintaining this speed consumes enormous energy, making it unsustainable for long periods. Alright then, how about the Grand Priest then? I mean, during the Zen exhibition match, the Grand Priest demonstrated his speed by intervening in a fight between multiple gods of destruction. The clash involved Beerus and Kitela, whose movements were so fast that even other gods struggled to keep up. Yet the Grand Priest stopped their punches mid-air with just 2 fingers, and he wasn't even trying. If Whis, who can travel intergalactic distances in moments and react faster than Super Saiyan Blue fighters, is already astonishing, the Grand Priest is an order of magnitude faster. Whis himself states that the Grand Priest is far beyond his own abilities, so naturally, this is who we will be choosing. 4 traits down, 13 more to go. Next up, let's see from which character we will take their fighting spirit to use on our character. The first candidate is, of course, Goku. From the very beginning of the series, Goku's resolve has been clear. He never backs down, no matter how insurmountable the odds seem. Whether he's facing the mighty Frieza, the godlike Jiren, or even universal threats like Zamasu, Goku always finds a way to rise to the occasion. Goku's love for fighting isn't driven by malice or conquest. Instead, he genuinely loves the challenge. His desire to fight the strongest opponents has led him to train with Whis and Beerus to master Godly Ki, spar with Jiren, even though Jiren's power eclipsed anything Goku had ever faced, and even risked his life countless times just to test his limits, knowing full well the dangers involved. But how about Jiren now? Jiren's fighting spirit is defined by his unyielding resolve. He doesn't just fight to win, he fights because he believes in the power of justice and strength. However, we've already used Jiren, so let's see what other characters we have in mind. This would be none other than Vegeta. Vegeta's fighting spirit is inseparable from his pride as a Saiyan elite. His royal heritage and belief in Saiyan superiority drive him to prove his dominance in every battle. Vegeta's fighting spirit shines brightest in moments of adversity. Time and again, he's been beaten down, humiliated, and pushed to the brink, yet he always comes back stronger. So, Vegeta or Goku? Who should we choose? Well, personally, I would have to go for Goku here, as I think his fighting spirit is the reason he is actually stronger than Vegeta. I mean, Goku's entire character is based around his fighting spirit. Okay, let's start getting into the most exciting parts. Next is regeneration. First up, we have Piccolo. Piccolo's regeneration stems from his Namekian physiology, a trait shared by all members of his species. Namekians have a natural ability to heal themselves and regenerate lost body parts, making them incredibly tough opponents. But yeah, his regeneration doesn't even compare with characters like Perfect Cell. Cell's regeneration is a natural feature of his body, stemming from his bioengineered design. He's a hybrid of the DNA of multiple powerful fighters, including the Saiyans, Frieza, and even Piccolo. This means that Cell has inherited some of the best traits from each species, and his regenerative ability is one of his most significant assets. Cell can regrow entire limbs and even reform his body from a single remaining cell, essentially making him nigh immortal unless his cells are completely destroyed. Who can be superior in this trait? Well, the answer to that is, of course, Majin Buu, and hence why I will be choosing him. No matter how much damage Buu takes, he can regenerate from it. If you cut him into pieces, he simply reassembles himself. If you completely vaporize his body, he will reform from a single cell. This makes him incredibly difficult to destroy, as most attacks don't even slow him down. Majin Buu has the greatest level of organic regeneration. Zamasu, for example, showed greater regeneration, but that was because of immortality using the Super Dragon Balls, while Majin Buu's regeneration is totally his own. So yeah, we are definitely choosing Buu here. Moving on, let's give our character the magic abilities of someone. Let's start off with Dabura. Being a demon with access to the mystical arts, he's capable of using a variety of spells to enhance his fighting abilities and control the battlefield. One of Dabura's signature magical abilities is his ability to turn people into stone with a single spit. Dabura also uses a magical sword in battle, which, like many of his abilities, Whis is enchanted with dark magic. But how about Babidi now? Well, hear this. Babidi's most significant use of magic is his ability to mark individuals with the Majin symbol, a powerful magical seal that forces those affected to serve him without question. The mark is a key part of his strategy, as it allows him to manipulate strong fighters, turning them into his subordinates. The most notable example of this is when he places the Majin symbol on Vegeta's body, turning the Saiyan Prince into a mind-controlled puppet of Babidi's will. Babidi is also capable of absorbing energy from those around him, a powerful ability that he uses to sustain himself and grow stronger. Additionally, Babidi can use his magic to teleport and travel across vast distances. So, which of the two of them will we be choosing? Actually, none of them, as the clear winner here is, of course, Moro. Miras the Angel, for example, implied that Moro is the strongest magic user of all time. Moro's magic allows him to manipulate energy in several ways that are both strategic and devastating. His techniques set him apart from other Dragon Ball villains, as he can manipulate the fundamental forces of nature itself. Moro's most devastating magical ability is his power to absorb the energy of entire planets. This ability allows him to siphon energy from living beings, life forces, and natural environments. While Moro doesn't rely solely on physical combat, his magic allows him to enhance his fighting abilities. Through his magic, Moro is able to manipulate and control his own energy, making him stronger in battle. Spellcasting and mutation, as well as copying techniques, are just some of his additional magical abilities. So our choice here is naturally Moro. Up next, let's give our character a state. The main states I have in mind are Ultra Instinct and Ultra Ego. So which of the two should we choose? Well, let's start off with Ultra Ego. It's a state that amplifies the user's destructive power, aggression, and fighting spirit. Unlike other transformations like Ultra Instinct, which focuses on calmness and precision, Ultra Ego is centered around overwhelming strength and the embracing of one's primal, battle-hungry instincts. In Ultra Ego, the user embraces the sheer thrill of battle. They not only gain power from their attacks, but also from their aggressive nature. The more damage they take, the stronger they become, allowing them to use the pain they endure as a source of strength. This makes it a highly offensive transformation, as the user becomes less defensive and more focused on overwhelming their opponent with sheer force. The characters we could use here are Vegeta and Beerus, but now, when it comes to Ultra Instinct, here's how strong it is. One of the primary abilities of Ultra Instinct is the user's body being able to move without thought. In this state, the mind is focused solely on maintaining this perfect balance, allowing the fighter to avoid and counterattack at an incredible level of efficiency. In essence, Ultra Instinct turns the fighter into a reflexive machine where their body moves in perfect synchronization with their mind, creating an almost unbeatable defense and offense. The characters we can use here are Whis, Angels, or Goku. Let's give the character Ultra Ego instead of Ultra Instinct, because we've already used the Grand Priest and Whis for other categories. Moving on, let's see what key ability our character will have. Here are the ones I'm considering. The Gigantic Full Blast of Broly is the first. The Gigantic Full Blast is visually massive and incredibly destructive, unlike most energy blasts in Dragon Ball, which are typically controlled, precise, and well-defined. Broly's attack has a raw, chaotic nature. As the name suggests, the gigantic part of the attack refers to its sheer scale, forming a massive sphere of energy that dwarfs even some of the most iconic energy blasts in the series. However, since we've already used Broly, let's see who else we can consider. How about Gohan's Special Beam Cannon? Especially in his Beast Gohan form, which boosts his energy and physical abilities, Gohan's Special Beam Cannon is further infused to an immense level of destructive power. Gohan's Special Beam Cannon was strong enough to deliver a decisive blow against Cell Max, a foe who rivaled or surpassed the power levels of the strongest enemies in the Dragon Ball universe. And alright, the last key ability I'm considering now is God Big Bang Kamehameha of Gogeta. This is executed by Gogeta in his Super Saiyan Blue form and is definitely one of the most visually spectacular and overwhelmingly destructive techniques in the Dragon Ball series. The God Big Bang Kamehameha is a fusion of Vegeta's Big Bang attack and Goku's Kamehameha, both of which are already devastating techniques on their own. Combining these into a single, focused blast amplifies its power exponentially. When Gogeta unleashed this move against full-power Super Saiyan Broly, it was powerful enough to incapacitate him completely. Broly, who was tanking blows from even Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta, couldn't withstand the sheer energy output of this attack, proving its status as a fight-ending technique. Among the three, I would have to go for Gogeta's God Big Bang Kamehameha. 9 traits down, 8 more to go, and the next one up is Teleportation. Here I have 2 candidates, The first one is Whis and his Wrap ability. Unlike conventional teleportation techniques such as instant transmission, Wrap doesn't rely on sensing energy or locking into a specific key signature. It's a purely angelic ability, allowing Whis to transport himself and others to virtually any location. The second teleportation I'm considering is Goku's instant transmission. Goku learned this technique from the Yard Rats after the events of the Frieza saga. Unlike regular teleportation, instant transmission requires the user to lock onto a specific key signature to travel instantly to its location. As the name suggests, the technique allows Goku to travel vast distances, even intergalactic ones, in the blink of an eye. Between the two, I would have to go for Wrap of Whis, both because we already used Goku, but because I think this is actually the better choice between the two. I mean, Wrap allows you to travel to any point or place in the multiverse, even backwards or forwards in time. Moving on, let's make our character a genius and give him the intelligence capabilities of someone. Here are the three candidates. First is Dr. Briefs. Dr. Briefs revolutionized technology with the invention of the capsule, a compact storage device capable of encapsulating objects as large as houses or vehicles into pocket-sized capsules. He also developed spaceships, robotics, and AI, but compared to the next two scientists, his achievements fall short. And the next one is Bulma. Bulma is a polymath, excelling in fields ranging from physics and engineering to chemistry and programming. Her technological breakthroughs are just staggering. Dragon radar, time machine, gravity chamber enhancements? Bulma is definitely a genius, but is she the best option here? Not quite, because the character I will be choosing is, of course, Dr. Gero. His main accomplishment is, of course, the development of the androids, with the peak of them all being none other than Perfect Cell. Even Bulma herself calls Dr. Gero the greatest scientist ever. Imagine, on top of the strength our character possesses, he's also capable of creating bioengineered beings like Perfect Cell to aid him in battle. Now that would be insanely overpowered. But intelligence would mean little if our character did not know how to properly fight. Let's go ahead and give our character someone's battle IQ. First up, let's look at Piccolo. Piccolo's battle IQ shines through his ability to outthink opponents who may be stronger or faster than him. He isn't just fighting, he's analyzing, strategizing, and exploiting weaknesses. He isn't the strongest, but he is definitely among the smartest when it comes to battle IQ. How about Perfect Cell next? Well, Perfect Cell isn't just a powerhouse of strength and technique. He's one of the most intelligent fighters in Dragon Ball. His creation as the ultimate bioengineered warrior means that he embodies the strategic genius and fighting styles of the universe's greatest fighters, including Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, and Frieza. With a blend of their strengths and experience, Cell is the epitome of calculated combat efficiency. And of course, next up, we've got Goku. And I mean, yeah, he is definitely among the best when it comes to battle IQ, but as we already analyzed, Cell combines his battle IQ along with a bunch of other seasoned warriors. So as a result, I'll actually be choosing Perfect Cell here. Okay, so how about we give our character some Dragon Balls as well? Well, here, there isn't much debate, as the choice should be pretty clear. Our choice will be the Super Dragon Balls of Super Shenron. The Super Dragon Balls are the most powerful set of Dragon Balls in all existence in the Dragon Ball universe. Unlike Earth's or Namekian Dragon Balls, which can grant wishes that are powerful but still have limitations, the Super Dragon Balls can grant wishes of nearly unlimited scale. In fact, they have the ability to alter reality itself, even beyond the constraints of time, space, and the laws of nature. 13 traits down, and the next in line is a weapon. First up, the Sickle of Sorrow of Goku Black or Zamasu. Unlike traditional weapons, the sickle can channel the energy and malevolent will of its wielder, amplifying attacks in battle. It also has an eerie and spiritual presence, reflecting the weapon's role as a tool for destruction rather than just a physical object. Zamasu himself is immortal due to his divine status, which makes his weapon even more dangerous, as it can cut through barriers of power that would typically be insurmountable for most other fighters. Next up, the Sword of Hope of Future Trunks. The Sword of Hope is able to harness Trunks' own energy, significantly amplifying the power behind his attacks. This allows Trunks to cut through enemies that would otherwise be nearly invincible. In his battle against Zamasu and Goku Black, Trunks was able to use the sword to land powerful strikes that directly impacted Zamasu, a being with godlike powers. Next up, the Spirit Sword of Vegito Blue. The Spirit Sword is no ordinary weapon. Its main advantage comes from the fact that it's composed of pure energy. When Vegito Blue charges up and forms the sword, it's as if he's condensing his immense power into a single, tangible blade. The concentration of energy gives the sword the ability to cut through nearly any defense. In Vegito Blue's fight with Zamasu, the sword proved to be effective at dealing with a godly foe who was impervious to most forms of attack. The sword's cutting ability isn't just physical. It cuts through the very fabric of Zamasu Zamasu's power, making it one of the few tools capable of hurting an immortal being. So, among the three of them, I would have to go for the Spirit Sword of Vegito Blue. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. Let's give our character 3 special abilities. Let's start with the first special ability. Here, I will put 3 candidates for an ability revolving around erasure or destruction, one being the erasure ability of Zeno. Zeno's erase ability is not just a power to destroy, it's a complete and utter removal of something from existence itself. When Zeno erases something, it's as if it was never there in the first place, whether it's an individual, an object, or even an entire universe. The concept of erasure goes beyond physical destruction. Next up, we have the Eradicate of the Grand Priest. While Zeno's erase ability completely obliterates something from existence, the Grand Priest's Eradicate is similarly absolute in its finality, but it's carried out with an entirely different level of finesse. The scope of the Grand Priest's Eradicate ability is nearly unmatched. He can target a specific aspect of a being's existence, say a person's energy, their memories, or even their very soul, and remove it entirely. And finally, we have the Hakai of Beerus. It's a form of total annihilation that goes beyond physical destruction. While most destructive powers in Dragon Ball simply obliterate matter, Hakai is the unique ability to erase something from existence on a fundamental level, ensuring it is completely removed from reality itself. Okay, so all 3 abilities are similar, but naturally, one of them is above all the others. And this is none other than Zeno's Erasure. Naturally, this is what I'll be choosing. Now, let's see our character's second special ability. Here, let's give a time-related special ability. The first candidate is the Time Stop of Guldo. Guldo's Time Stop is essentially a short, but potent manipulation of time. He can stop time in a localized area for a few seconds, during which he can move and act freely while everything around him is frozen in place. Next up, it's Time Skip of Hit. This allows Hit to briefly jump through time, effectively making his movements appear instantaneous to those around him. The power lies in Hit's ability to move just a fraction of a second into the future, giving him a considerable advantage over his opponents. And finally, the one I'll actually be choosing, Time Freeze of Chronoa. Freeze is a technique that allows Chronoa to freeze time itself, completely halting the progression of everything within her immediate surroundings. This power is vastly more potent than the like of Hit's Time Skip or even Guldo's Time Stop, because Chronoa's ability affects time universally in the areas she targets. And for the third and final special ability, let's see what we've got. Let's give our character an energy-based special ability. Here, I've got 2 candidates. The first is Energy Absorption of Moro. Moro's Energy Absorption is a special ability that allows him to absorb the life force and energy of any being or object in his vicinity. This can include everything from the energy of other fighters to the ki of entire planets. Moro uses this technique to sustain himself, recover, and grow stronger during battle, and it gives him a significant advantage over opponents who rely solely on their own energy to fight. The second option here, and the one I'll actually be using since we've already used Moro, is Vegeta's Forced Spirit Fission. Forced Spirit Fission allows Vegeta to literally fission or split apart the energy of his opponents, stripping away any absorbed power or external sources of energy. It's a technique that works by pulling apart the ki or life energy that an opponent has gathered, undoing the effects of fusion or energy absorption. Vegeta uses this ability to weaken enemies by forcing them to lose accumulated energy, giving him the upper hand in battle. Click on this video next, where I'm ranking all 30 strongest races in the world of Dragon Ball. Go on, check it out!